It's really important to us to have school instruments available for a lot of our kids. There are certain kids who just the rental fee alone would put them off of playing and being part of our organization. And being part of band or being part of orchestra and seeing the kids you get in their development, you really see what a difference it makes. And having those school instruments available, especially for our kids who are really of need, and that would be a barrier to, just opens up the pipeline to more kids. There are kids who really want to do it, and there are families who think about the money and just have to shut it off. And we're there letting them know, we're going to make things happen. We're going to get an instrument in your hand.
To have the support of the district and the Mounds View Education Foundation to give access to funds to get like real instruments, to get nice instruments that students who need help aren't just playing the scraps. They're playing similar instruments to their peers, and like that quality instrument that they can have access to changes their experience. Being in the ensemble is like developing the skills. You learn how to focus. You learn how to interpret multiple pieces of information at the same time, because you have to watch a conductor, you have to listen to the people around you, you respond to all of that to make a quality performance. And so I know that for me, like I figured out through my participation in music how I learn, like what's the best way for me to approach a new subject, because I was like, oh, if I do this step, then I can go to this one. And so it helps me sequence my learning of anything, whether that be gardening, woodworking, or even just regular communication. Like, how am I going to get this point across in a way that makes sense to all of those people? I think those are critical, and also just being able to set a goal, because we have performance goals. Like, we have to be able to do this by this time, so we set deadlines constantly to say, oh, no matter what, this is when we're ready.
Then the biggest step I find is when they get to 7th grade. We are lucky enough in this district to have our music every day in our middle school, so they just transform. I mean, even your kids who might not practice as much, well, now they're getting band. If you've got a 5-day school week, they're getting 5 days of band. You always have room to progress. You don't have to wait for that. Well, I hope they practice this week, so it might be a week in between. And wow, we get so much better in 7th grade. 8th grade, they polish those skills that they have. And we send them off to high school where the programs are speaking for themselves. The groups, the ensemble groups they have there, the marching band that they have. You come into school, you already have a crew. You're with your band people. There are kids who every morning they're in the band room. They don't have band first thing in the morning. They don't have band till 4th or 5th hour. Well, they're there. They're hanging out. They're band kids. They found that place that they have in school where they can feel good, they feel secure, they feel comfortable in our space. I've gotten notes from kids at the end of school years have told me that, left me a note. They're like, school was really hard this year, but I always knew when I got to your class, everything was going to be okay, if only for that hour.
What I enjoy most is that aha moment. Like, you see them struggle with something, like trying a new challenging skill, and all of a sudden they get it, and their eyes just go, get it. And like watching that develop, and over time, like getting to the moments of creation instead of just like repetition, and that moment is great. I had a student this year say, sometimes it's a little repetitive, but nothing replaces the performance. Like, when you have that performance and that end of the experience, nothing replaces that feeling. And to be able to create that year after year with new groups of students and see their development, that's what continues to make this fun.